Welcome, Saint Canardian. Welcome to the Saint Canard Files, a Darkwing Duck podcast. I'm your host, with Santana, and today I'm with guest co-host who?
Hi, everybody. I'm Stan.
What's going on, Stan?
Not too much.
Are you doing all right, man?
Oh, yeah. Just figured I'd throw out my best Dr. Nick impression.
Doctor who?
Dr. Nick from The Simpsons.
Oh, I don't watch The Simpsons, man. I haven't seen it in like, probably 20 years, man. I think I stopped watching it after maybe season 5 or 6 or something. Yeah. And it's not that I didn't like it. It's just, I don't know, I couldn't keep up with it. I started aging and my attention span went somewhere else. So I never disliked the Simpsons.
Thank goodness you stayed in the Darkwing at least.
Well, Darkwing was only 2 seasons. So it was kind of easy to keep up with it, you know? Simpsons went on forever.
Well, what do you mean went on? It's still going.
Still going on, yeah. So Stan, man, let's talk about you a little bit, man, today before we get into what we're gonna review. I know you as a Darkwing fan, but for the people out there who don't know you, I also know you as you're in several other fandoms. Do you want to mention those real quick?
Sure. I'm in the Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Indiana Jones, Power Rangers, anime, specifically Dragon Ball Z and My Hero Academia at the moment.
Mm-hmm. What about Star Wars?
Oh yeah, huge Star Wars fan.
So what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
What's your favorite
very
prequel?
Close. Well, favorite prequel would be Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
And then your favorite 3 with I don't know what they're called. What are the last 3 called?
Sequel trilogy, you mean?
Sequel trilogy. What's your favorite of those 3?
Rise of Skywalker.
That's the last one, right?
Yep.
Okay. From the original 3, I'm gonna go with you. I will co-sign you on Empire. The prequels. I'm a Darth Maul fanboy, but that movie can't touch Revenge of the Sith, man. I'm trying to be fair here, but God, I love me some Darth Maul, man. And then you said it was called the sequel trilogy.
Yep.
I would go with what's the one before the Rise of the Skywalker?
The Last Jedi.
I like that one.
A bold claim.
A bold claim.
Considering that's the one movie that is so divisive among the fan base.
Okay.
A lot of people hate it. I'm not one of the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but my second favorite Star Wars movie though is Rogue One. I freaking love that movie, man.
Well, you and I are on the same wavelength because Rogue One is my second favorite Star Wars movie.
I can't speak for you. I think for me, it's not so Jedi driven. Even though we know the outcome, I personally didn't know the outcome was going to be that bad. Like, almost, pretty much everybody dies, you know?
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. I mean, that movie's been out long enough. I'm sure people have seen it if they're into Star Wars, but
most likely.
I really enjoy it from beginning to end. I really like Rogue One. The Solo movie, it's okay. I don't hate it like a lot of people I know. It's okay.
I liked it.
I think you're in an unpopular opinion there. I think. I don't know. I'm not with the stand.
There's a few other people that were big in the Solo. I mean, there's enough of them that the hashtag make Solo 2 happen was trending for a while.
Okay. Star Wars, the Clone Wars series. I probably saw up to like season 4 or 5. I haven't finished whatever season I was on though.
The Clone Wars is amazing.
I do like it. I think I don't know. I took a break from it and then like I never got back into it, you know. It was one of those things where I got into it, and then I was like, man, I need a break. I need to watch something else for a little bit. And then when I started watching something else, I just never went back. So that's where I'm at with Clone Wars. I have not seen Rebels, Star Wars Rebels. That's what it's called, right?
Good series.
Never seen that. I love The Mandalorian. I haven't seen the Bad Batch. Haven't seen that yet.
Good series as well.
Okay.
It's you can essentially think of Bad Batch as season 8 of the Clone Wars,
Okay.
since it kind of picks up from where they left off.
Are you excited about that Boba Fett series?
Well, if you'd bothered to watch my video on my YouTube channel, you'd know the answer is an unequivocal yes.
Okay. I like Boba Fett. I don't know if I'm gonna like this one though. I'm a little worried. I'm nervous because I do like Boba Fett.
It does take place after season 2 of The Mandalorian and somewhat ties into it. So
yeah, I saw they had that fine woman in it, the one that was working with him in the series.
Fennec Shand.
Yeah, she fine, man. She was also in Street Fighter. She was Chun-Li in there. Yeah, she fine. I would like to see a Darth Maul series if that's ever possible. I would say my favorite bounty hunter though is I think his name is Bosk. Is that how you say his name?
He's a Trandoshan.
Yeah, I don't remember Bosk from the Star Wars movies.
He was in Empire Strikes Back among the crew of bounty hunters gathered for the hunt for Han Solo.
And he only had one line, correct?
Yep.
Yes. Well, I didn't grow fond of Boss until I was playing, I think it was Battlefield 1 on the PlayStation 4. And he became an unlockable character like later on. And he was one of the heroes or villains that you could choose when you got one of the special characters. And man, I used to love him on this one map where we were like on the Death Star or something. And like if you got him in a closed room, man, he would just like shoot these grenades, like doom, 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 like 8 or 12 grenades, man, and light that whole room up. I was like, man, this dude's bad. That's where I started liking Boss because of that video game. And then I seen clips of him. I think he's on Star Wars Rebels also.
He's in the Clone Wars a couple times, and I think he may have shown up in an episode or 2 of Rebels.
Mm-hmm. We can actually tie Star Wars into Darkwing a little bit. Katie Lee voiced Han Solo in one of the Lego movies. I can't remember which one.
In Lego Star Wars, the Padawan Menace, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm. Jim Cummings is who?
Hondo Ohnaka. Basically, think Don Carnage, but in space.
Okay. And then Terry McGovern was the voice of the Sand Trooper.
Yep, the one that says these aren't the droids you're looking for.
Move along. And Michael Bell voiced somebody as well, right?
Yep, he was the voice of one of the rebel leaders from episode 4.
Okay, so we got a lot of Darkwing connected with Star Wars. All right.
I'm sure we've got more too if we really dug deep.
Yeah, if we dug deep, yeah. All right, so Stan, let's move away from Star Wars. Let's get into the terror that flaps in the night. And what are we reviewing today? What are we talking about?
We are reviewing the Silly Canine Caper.
Yeah, this is a really short story.
It is.
Yeah, it's very short. But we have a villain in here. We can go ahead and give her away. She has a cameo in a episode of Darkwing. She doesn't talk. They don't say her name, but Mike mentioned it. I didn't know who she was. I didn't even know it was a cameo back in the day. Who we talking about right now?
Animatronic.
And what episode did she have her cameo in?
In like Blunt.
It's very brief. She was just sitting at the table, right?
Yep.
That's the episode. I think the Beagle Boys had a cameo. Steelbeak, Magic of the Spell.
Yep. Glomgold,
Animatronic. Anybody else?
I can't.
There was a lot. I can't remember.
But basically, the premise of that episode was a list of Shush spies is being auctioned. So they're all people there to bid on the list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you're curious to what she looks like besides using the internet and you don't have this book, you can find her on that episode. It's a very brief cameo when they get to the island where all the villains are. The main villain, Phineas Sharp, right?
Phineas Sharp.
Okay. So that's where you can find her. She's got on the same clothes, everything that she has in this book. She looks identical, so you can't miss. But spoiler alert: next week she might look a little different.
Yep.
All right. So Stan, who wrote this? Who was this written by?
This book was written by Justine Corman and was released in 1992.
Yeah. And for those who don't know what Justine is known for, what we found out was she wrote some books for the Muppet Babies. She wrote the first Muppet Dictionary. She wrote for Sesame Street books like Big Bird's New Nest, My Name is Bert. And then she also did some what do they call them? Adapted storybook versions of movies. Like
movie storybooks.
Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, Batman Returns, Babe, George of the Jungle,
The Rocketeer,
Lion King. So she's got some stuff out there. And Stan, who was this illustrated by?
Our good friend Don Williams has returned for this one. Yeah. Folks may remember him from last week from the Darkest Night book.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and start getting into this review. But the fair warning, me and Stan had planned this one several weeks ago. So I read it several weeks ago. So it's not fresh in my head. But Stan took notes. I didn't take notes. I'm the lazy student. Y'all can give me a C or a D. Fine, I'll accept it. So, matter of fact, I'm even let Stan guide us into the beginning of this to get the flow going.
To quote Master Yoda, much to learn, you still have.
All right, go ahead, Stan. Get us going on this review.
So we start with Darkwing and LP in Jay Ganderhooter's office, and LP, he's not really being very serious right now, is he?
Nah, he's jamming the I guess a Walkman.
A Duckman radio.
A Duckman radio. Yeah, so LP's jamming. And what's Darkwing up to? He's kind of like brainstorming a little bit, right?
Yeah, he's in the zone. But of course,
go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, you go.
So of course, LP kind of ruins his concentration by knocking into some papers, and when he bends to pick them up, he knocks a fishbowl over right onto Jay Gander, who's entering his office.
Yeah, so we got Jay Gander. He's showing up. I like Jay Gander for some reason. I don't know why. He doesn't really do much, but he kind of reminds me of
a grandfather.
Like a grandfather, but kind of like the character from Charlie's Angels. I can't remember his name because I'm not a Charlie Angel fan.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Bosley, was it?
Bosley, that's right. Yeah. All right.
I'm not a Charlie's Angels fan. I've just watched so many things that parodied it. I picked up a couple things.
Yeah, okay. But then Darkwing kind of insults LP again. God, why is he insulting him a lot in these books, man?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it was something that had been thought about being done before they really got into production of Darkwing. Either way, it's not nice to see.
Yeah, but I'm glad it didn't really translate to the episodes when they got that going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he insults him and pretty much tells him he's gonna fly solo.
Yeah. Though I would say good luck flying the Thunderquack, DW, since you don't know how to fly.
All right. So then Jay Gander informs Darkwing what's going on. What does he inform him?
That all of Shush's agents have turned silly, and their only clue is a mysterious robot puppy.
Yeah, and then they show some photos of some of the agents. We see one of them roller skating with like a ballet outfit. One of them is putting corn into a pencil sharpener. One is playing like a banjo upside down on a tree. So we see that kind of stuff going on, and then Darkwing meets I can't remember. I don't think he had a name. He was like a professor or something.
Some sort of Shush inventor. I want to say they probably based him on Q from James Bond.
Okay, yeah, but they didn't name him, correct?
No.
Okay. Oh yeah, it says it here, the Shush inventor. Okay. So he kind of gives Darkwing a new cape, right? He's telling him it's not an ordinary cape. So Stan, what is this cape obtain? What is this cape all about?
So it's supposed to be able to block the silly signal and track the robot puppies.
Hmm. And then Darkwing, without getting explanation of how the cape works or anything, he's out. He's out of there.
Oh yeah.
He,
Basically, as far as he's concerned, he loves it's purple, and that's good enough for him.
yeah. And the Avenger
But
tried to stop him, but he couldn't stop him. Darkwing takes off. He leaves the office, and then Jay Gander's not right.
nope, Darkwing, basically the reason he took off is because he saw one of the puppies on the tracker. He followed it straight to Jay Gander's office.
Yep.
Well, what is Jay Gander doing in his office?
It looked like he was making those. I don't know what they're called, but the ducks where you can cut them out in the paper, and
Paper chain ducks.
that's what it's called, paper chain duck. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the leader of Shush has been reduced to a silly guy making paper chain ducks.
Yeah. All right. So Darkwing's on the hunt. He's following the puppy along on the rat catcher. Without LP, by the way, without the extension. I don't know what the little extension thing is called on the rat catcher.
Sidecar.
Sidecar. Okay. All right. So then Darkwing tracks him down to an abandoned dog chow factory.
Yep.
Right. And then what does Darkwing notice once he's inside of the factory?
That there's enough robot puppies in there to turn every good guy in the world into a silly, giggling buffoon.
Mm-hmm. And who's in charge of these puppies? Who's running the ball game here?
Madam Animatronic.
Yep. Yeah. So she's running it, and Darkwing realizes he has the cape, and he knows it can stop the silly signal.
Yep. If only he had gotten instruction on how to use it first.
Yeah. So what happens since he doesn't know how to use it?
He tunes into a local radio station, which causes the puppies to start dancing to the rock beat blasting out of the cape.
Yeah, and then like their teeth get all sharp and everything. For those of you on YouTube, let me show a picture of it. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all biting on his cape and everything. He's like saying, "Down, doggy, down."
Yep.
Yeah, but then Madam Matronic or Madam Animatronic or Animatronic, they say her name several different ways in here. She ties DW up, and she invented a silly signal, correct? Silly signal ray gun.
Yep.
Yeah, and so she's pointing it at him and everything, but then somebody's lurking in the background.
Well, yeah, DW's been followed by somebody, but before any of that happens, he wants to know why she invented this thing.
Yeah, does she tell them why?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
She explains that she was trying to figure out a way to make her robot puppies smarter, but accidentally invented the silly signal.
Yeah. So then who creeps up from behind? Stan, who's been following?
Well, as she prepares to zap Darkwing, Launchpad jumps in front and takes the blast.
Yep. So Darkwing was a true soldier, true sidekick, man. He was there to take one for the team.
You mean Launchpad was?
Oh, who did I say? Darkwing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I screwed that up. Apologize, everyone. And it's funny because Animatronic points the gun at herself, trying to see what's wrong because it didn't work on LP.
Nope. But what's the one thing they always teach you? Never point a weapon at yourself.
And she did.
Yeah. And unfortunately for her, she gets the effects of the ray on herself because she accidentally blasts herself.
Yeah. So now she's silly, and Darkwing comes to his senses. He starts thanking LP and everything. Yeah. And then how did LP explain how he blocked the silly signal?
That he basically turned on his headphones.
Yeah, he turned on his headphone. He was able to block it. And Darkwing actually tells him what a good dancer he is.
Yeah. Well, he
Not
says
really.
he's a dunce of a dancer, but he's a pretty perfect partner.
Yep. So then we go back to what's on the last page, Stan. Close this out here.
So we get back to Jay Gander's office. They've figured out a cure for the silly signal, and everything is back to normal except one thing.
What's the one thing?
Jay Gander's office, which is covered in paper duct chains.
Yep. All right. So Stan, that wraps up the silly canine caper. I don't know why I always say silly little canine caper. I don't know why I keep saying that. But the silly canine caper. Stan, what do you think of this book, man? It's kind of hard for me to review these books a little bit because now I'm 40 years old and these books are not meant for us at 40, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'd give this one a solid 3. I mean, it is a good introduction to animatronic. The
Mhm.
premise of it's pretty good, even if they have reused a couple things.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, did
Mhm.
you realize we've seen those robot puppies before?
No, where did we see them from?
Oh, you are going to be cross with yourself on this one, Will. They're part of Quackerjack's menagerie in Toys R Us.
Oh, really? They're in that toy store? Oh no. Oh man. Well, Stan, I'm with you 100%. I'm gonna back you up on your score. I'm gonna give it a 3. Um, we got Jay Ganders, a shush. We got the inventor. We get the little portion of the cape, so we know there's going to be backlash to the cape later on because he takes off without learning how to use it.
Yep.
Animatronic, she's very brief in there, but because this is a book for a 10-year-old, it's a golden book. They can't make her evil, like that. So
Right.
so they made her the silly character, a silly, villain type person, turning people into being silly. So I get it. I'm okay with it. LP is the hero technically in this story. I like that. It's not always about Darkwing. So I back your score up. I give it 3. Because I'm 40, I think that kind of hurts the score a little bit, but I'm still okay with a 3.
Yeah. Now, do you want to rate Anna this time or do you want to wait for her next appearance?
I will let you rate her if you want to. I think I'm gonna wait until I have
I
not I have not read
I
the other
will
story.
wait for the other one as well then.
Okay.
So keep your eyes peeled, folks, for the next episode where animatronic will return and we'll get into a proper rating that time.
Okay. Now I have you read the next story?
Uh I
I
think
haven't read it yet.
once,
Okay. I haven't
but it
read it yet.
was a while ago.
If there is a huge difference, because I know there's one major difference already, right? But if there's a huge difference, I may give her 2 scores. But if it's
One for this and one for that.
yeah, but if they're similar and all that, besides the one major difference, then I will put it one score. Because I know Mike was that way with Splatter Phoenix. He did not want to combine paint misbehaving with brush with oblivion. He
Yeah.
refused to do it. So we did it in 2 separate scores for her. But we'll see. So I may give 2 separate scores, or I may give one. Matter of fact, Stan, give it away. What story are we reading next, and where is it from?
So the next story we're talking about will be the comic Sleep Duckling, which was from issue 2 of the Disney Afternoon comics.
The Disney Afternoon comic, the Marvel set, correct?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one that has one issue that's extremely expensive.
But we've already covered that dud.
Yeah, we already covered that one, but number 2 is fairly cheap. That's not a expensive one at all.
Number 2 is easy to get.
Yeah, easy to get, very affordable. Um, so yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap up Silly Canine Caper. And once again, what's the next one called? What we doing next week, Stan?
Issue 2 of the Disney Afternoon, specifically the story Sleep Duckling.
All right, Sleep Duckling next week. All right, guys. Guys, we may have 2 or 3 more comic reviews or book reviews, and then I may finally take a break. And then once I get back from my break, me and Mike might start hitting up on that Boom series that everybody's waiting on, in Dangerous Currency and the Joe Book series. So I know people really want that. Trying to give Mike a little break, but I haven't even took a break yet. So maybe I can talk Mike into getting in to knock out a few bonus episodes, and then me and him can just hit it right off, no breaks at all. Like get a continued series going, and then we'll hit that Boom stuff. All right. So guys, thanks, Stan. can you plug people about your YouTube channel? I have never given you the chance to plug your YouTube channel, man.
Sure. For anyone wanting to see any of my videos, personally, I have a YouTube channel called DMC Jedi Man. It's kind of a hodgepodge channel. It's mostly focused on reactions, though occasionally I do things like unboxings or taste tests or reviews, all sorts of different things.
Mm-hmm. All right, so y'all make sure y'all give Stan a like and a follow or subscribe. And then Stan, where can they find us for the people tuning in for the first time? Good luck, Stan. Good luck.
Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Google Play, Pandora, Facebook, YouTube, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, if I didn't already mention that one. I gotta get a poster made up, Will. I gotta get a poster. I gotta hang it right here, right in front of me, where I can just read them down. I bet that's what Mike does. I bet that's what he does. He probably has a poster he reads.
Okay. Well, Stan, I'm gonna go a little different on my shout outs today. I'm gonna give a shout out to anybody who ever wrote any kind of comic, any book, anything Darkwing related, and any illustrator, man. It's kind of cool that there's other things besides the 91 episodes that we have something to do, a story where you can put some of these voices in your head and imagine these characters and just different kind of storylines, some of it's not true to the 91 episodes, but it's still okay,
Oh, I've got one shout out to do as well.
All right, go for it.
Right around the time this episode drops, somebody is going to have a birthday, so would you like to join me, Will, in wishing Mike Peraza a very happy birthday?
All right. It's somebody's birthday. I wonder who. Somebody right in this room near you. So look all around until you see who. He's laughing. He's smiling. My goodness, it's you. Happy birthday, Mike Peraza. The original drawing creator of Double O Duck, by the way.
Yep.
Oh, man. So if you haven't tuned in yet, we had a Flash Quack episode with Mike Peraza way back. You can check it out. It's on YouTube and all the podcast apps that we're on. Just type in St. Canard Files, Mike Peraza. We had a really cool interview, and he gives us a lot of information about the origin of Darkwing and Double O Duck and the creation of what he was going to look like. Some of the stuff you can find on the internet by Google information and stuff, but he gets a little more in depth to it. And who they ripped Double O Duck's appearance from. He mentions that in there that I didn't catch until he mentioned it. So happy birthday, Mike, man. Appreciate all your hard work and dedication to all your Disney afternoon work, man. Not just Darkwing. All right, so that's gonna wrap up this episode, and thanks, Stan, for reminding me about that birthday shout out. Everybody, stay dangerous.
Stay dangerous, everyone.
Good night.